Hello. You just reached MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Your patience while holding is appreciated. Our representatives are working hard to get you closer to the guys on top of the pit boxes, over the wall, and on your radio dial. Thank you for holding. You are now being connected to your hosts, Tony Rizzuti and Kit Cruz.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to MRN Crew Call. We are presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Tony Rizzuti, and I'm joined, as always, by a guy who once told the entire world...
Hey, all you singers out there, Lou Pearlman, the mastermind behind such bands as LFO, NSYNC, and the Backstreet Boys, is looking for 5 talented young men to form a new band.
That's such a horrible voiceover. I cringe every time I hear it. Yes, that was the official opening beginning on ABC primetime of making the band.
The very first episode.
The very first episode, which eventually launched a pop group
O-Town.
Called O-Town, and they've had some hits. Yes, that's fun.
How about that out of the archives?
Yeah, I should bring in my residual checks, show those
Were
off.
there any?
It's, no, there weren't.
Well, how'd you get picked for that, by the way?
I was really involved with Lou Pearlman and all of his groups in Orlando.
So NSYNC,
Backstreet Boys, LFO, O-Town. And actually, I got a call out of the blue on my cell phone from a producer. I had no idea. They were just like, hey, I'm going to send you over a script. Can you cut this and send it back to me?
Had they already picked the band at that point? Was that a post kind of fake radio thing, or was that the actual call to try to get people there?
Yeah, that was a fake. I wish they,
yeah,
they were just like, hey, read this script and we'll put it in the show. And I was like, all right, cool.
See, we told you guys that he was a big-time radio star.
Can you?
Big-time TV star as well. We weren't joking.
That was
like,
a good
this
point.
is
Can you find this stuff I did with Rodney Dangerfield? It was an odd show with Rodney Dangerfield and a lot of the cast from Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah,
they'll jump on that. As always, we'd love to have you join our conversation. You can see where to tweet right down there at MRN Radio. That's our handle. Use the hashtag AskMRN. You got the real Kid Cruz. You got Tony Rizzuti here. Just figure out how to spell it. As always, we have the fan forum hotline, 1-844-4AskMRN. Love to hear people. I mean, people get fired up sometimes. But they loved the road course racing last week. That was kind of fun.
It was excellent. That was fun. Yeah.
Or as I like to say, an excuse to not use your brakes. Oh, I just wheel hop, man. It turns into a demo derby every time. You see those cars? They look like they'd been at the Martinsville 800,
right?
Let alone 500,
no, seriously,
right?
Yeah. And that Casey Kane car, I don't know if you
that
saw a post-race photo of the car. It was pretty much half of it was missing. It's crazy.
Crazy race out there. Great show for you today. Junior Nation's going to be thrilled because we have the crew chief, Greg Ives, number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet this week at Daytona. He's going to be on the program. Love to talk to Greg, kind of get a feel for going to Daytona this week. Also about the new Junior Appreciation Tour. Is that going to be a distraction to the team? Is this a must-win race? 22nd in points, got to get into the playoffs. We'll talk to him about that. That'll be a lot of fun. And then, you know, training camps are getting ready to open. 4 weeks, the NFL training camps open
already.
So we're going to talk to our famous football player, Jason Toy. He was a member of a national championship football team. We'll talk to him about that and get his thoughts on the racing so far. And we will close it out with our venerable game show, 5 on, 5 off. Today's category, the beach.
All right, Jason Toy is going down, baby. I'm winning it this week.
Should be a lot of fun. As always, this is the section where we hear from our country stars, our artists that we preview and promote every week on NASCAR USA. Who'd you get the chance to talk to this week, kid?
They're turning into like my Daytona go-to band. I met up with Lady Antebellum at the Daytona 500, and now we're talking about the new album that they've just released. Did you see them earlier this year on Kimmel? They've done a couple of cool mashups. They're really good about stepping outside their comfort zone. They did a collaboration with Belle Biv DeVoe. They did a collaboration with Earth, Wind & Fire a couple of weeks ago. So they're on tour with Brett Young and Kelsey Ballerini. And I asked the question, are we going to see any cool collaborations when you're on stage this summer?
Hillary, you know, we get Kelsey back up. Spoiler alert: they do a Beyonce song together, and then Brett Young and I and Dave do a Tim McGraw song together. So you know that's what our band is all about. We love all styles of music, and we're not afraid to to kind of show that in the live show, and then like with that Belle Biv DeVoe thing, that was just fun, pure fun, and
so much fun.
The crazy goofy idea that Jimmy Kimmel had, to mash us up together.
Oh, it was a great mashup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what our band's always been about. We love all styles of music, and it's fun to be able to put on some of those different hats.
I love Lady Antebellum. We'll have more with the band and talking about their new album this weekend on NASCAR USA. Go to mrn.com, click on the stations tab, and you can find a radio station near you and listen to us on NASCAR USA.
I'm going to make a quick prediction and say that thing debuts at number 1.
You think so?
They have a huge fan base.
They're huge.
I love their music,
they're
too.
Awesome.
They're just
I
a
love
fun
them
band.
so much. Yeah, they're fun.
A lot of fun. We got to take our first break here on MRN Crew Call. When we come back, we will talk to the crew chief of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet. That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. His crew chief is Greg Ives, and he's next here on MRN Crew Call.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
If your AC is blowing hot air, let O'Reilly Auto Parts help bring back the cool this summer. While you may need to eventually service your AC unit, get immediate relief with Interdynamics R134A refrigerant with leak sealer. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
On Friday, June 30th, the Professional Fighters League makes its debut at the Daytona International Speedway. Admission to the fight is included with your ticket to the Xfinity Series race on Friday night, the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250. The battle in the cage will immediately follow the action on the track. MMA legend John Fitch takes on Brian Foster in the main event of the night. Championship Racing and Championship MMA back-to-back. Kick off your 4th of July weekend at the Daytona International Speedway with the Professional Fighters League.
You've reached MRN Crew Call. Please deposit 25 cents to be upgraded to more quality programming. Otherwise, here's Tony and Kid.
Welcome back to the program. We were just talking in the commercial break how many people we think will be at that MMA fight. It's Florida, man. It'll probably be packed.
I want to go.
Going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fight out on the racetrack as well. And one of the guys that hopes they emerge from the ring victorious is the crew chief of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet, driven by Dale Earnhardt Jr., the leader of that team, Greg Ives. Greg, thanks for being on the program today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about Sonoma a little bit and just put a period on that. It's always such a mixed bag when you go out to that road course, but you guys scored a top 10, 6th place finish. Were you pleased with the run?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but it's kind of after the race when we're kind of talking in the trailer, and it's kind of good to be a little disappointed at 6th place, but also happy the way we were able to rebound and overcome some of the obstacles. So. It's one of those things where you have a good speed in practice and throughout qualifying, and I think we've had good cars there, and Dale's definitely showed up with his game face on every week. So every time we go out to Sonoma, so going out there, thought maybe a top 3 would be what the goal was, and end up 6th. So like I said, you're happy, but you're also know that you wanted just a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's kind of been a theme of the entire season so far. I mean, 22nd in points, obviously not where you want to be, still chasing that first win. Assess the season so far for the 88.
Yeah, like you said, 22nd in points is never where we want to be. Getting off to a good start is always very, very important to any race team, and starting out with Daytona and Phoenix and a couple of those places that we had some bad incidents, Daytona leading the race and getting caught up in a wreck, and you don't know how much that kind of affects the momentum of the race team until you're still lingering on it a couple of weeks later. So we're hoping to rebound from that like we have been in the last, I think, 4 or 5 races, running close to the top 10 and top 5, and be able to knock one of those out this weekend.
Greg, going into this weekend, what advice is Peyton giving you? I hear stories that your daughter regularly critiques your performance and offers you advice. She's pretty open about that, right?
Yeah, she's pretty open about it. You know, she doesn't mix any words, and she doesn't care if it's Dale or myself or who's listening. You know, basically it comes down to, some of the things that we have happen this year. Don't crash, win the race. And, I think she threw out there one time, don't embarrass me. So,
Nice.
There's a lot of different things that kids will say, but, I think she's pretty determined in what she wants to do in life. And she wants to make sure that I stay to the straight and narrow, I guess.
Hey, it's summertime. You have time for a little family getaway here and there? Are they hanging at the beach? Are they going to kick it at the beach while you're down at the track this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you always play that balancing act of, spending time with family and also working on the race car so you can be successful. And we're fortunate enough that they are going to come down to Daytona with us, but with the schedule,
cool.
Garage open up at 9 tomorrow, and I think it closes at 7 or 8. So if they get to spend some time at the beach, great. I don't know if I will be at all, other than maybe on the infield there. But it's just one of those things where you have to cherish those moments. That grow so fast. Just this past weekend, my son turned 3, so it was like, man, where's the time going?
Yeah, it's crazy. I have a 7-year-old. I say that all the time. He's 7 going on 13. It's crazy. How excited is everybody to be heading down to Daytona International Speedway? This track has been Dale Jr.'s personal playground in the past. Is the team pretty pumped up for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody gets pumped up when it comes around Daytona time, and I think we bring amazing race cars, and the thing about Daytona and super speedway racing is the rules haven't really changed much over the course of the last since 2015. You may have a change in restrictor plate or this or that, but this is probably going to be the first time that there's been a major change in tires and that type of thing. So never know what you expect. I think the track changes. The surface changes a little bit more than maybe the rules do. So I think the racing gets a little closer, a little more exciting, and now they're going to bring a different tire with a little bit more grip. So we'll see how if it gets closer to the older days where you end up need more tires and the car's slipping and sliding around more and separating that pack a little bit.
You mentioned that you always bring fast cars to Daytona. You got caught up in that wreck back in the Daytona 500. So what chassis are we bringing this weekend? Did you rebuild that car? Are you bringing the car that was the backup or a brand new car this week to Daytona?
We're bringing what we had at Talladega. So
okay.
We're able to, work on those cars. It wasn't too hurt in Daytona, so we're able to fix it up for Talladega. Talladega, we made it out of there pretty unscathed and was able to get it all fixed up, ready to go back to Daytona.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of attention. There already has been on this Junior Nation Appreciation Tour. It's going to be a lot of fun for the fans. I'm sure a lot of fun for you guys too. But as a crew chief, how do you make sure that you and your team don't get caught up in some of the distractions for all the hoopla around Dale Jr.'s last year in the Cup Series?
I think it really comes down to, the tracks, the fans, and everybody at the racetrack have really done a good job of just allowing us to do our jobs. If it wasn't for the announcement of saying it's Dale's last year, you probably wouldn't know it by going into these racetracks, just because there's not a lot of hype on it. They're allowing Dale to just go in there, do his thing, and be appreciated for the guy and the driver and what he brought to the sport. So it doesn't seem like there's a lot of that fanfare other than the normal. So, I mean, somebody of his stature and with his following, you kind of get used to that. So, it's kind of one of those things is comes with the territory. But, everybody's doing a pretty good job of allowing us to do our jobs and respect what we do at the racetrack.
Well, we're excited to see that 88 on the track this weekend. I think this could be the weekend for you guys to break through, get that playoff spot. It'd be a lot of fun. I know you're super busy. As always, thank you for the time, and good luck down at the world's most famous beach.
I appreciate it, guys, and hopefully we'll be talking about a win soon.
There he is, Greg Ives, crew chief for Dale Jr. By the way, fans, MRN will have you covered the entire weekend, starting with practice tomorrow. I got the sheet right here. 3 p.m. we're on the air on MRN.com, the MRN app. You can hear practice, live practice from Daytona. We'll have the second practice at 5 o'clock, and then Saturday night, July 1st, the Coke Zero 400, powered by Coca-Cola, 6:30, the airtime. What do you think, Kid Cruz? Does Dale Jr. break through this weekend?
How could he not?
I think he
How
does.
could he not?
I think it'd be a story.
I think he does.
He always seems to be able to follow those storybook settings when they come up, and they always say the champions kind of rise to the top. Obviously, he hadn't been a NASCAR Cup Series champion yet,
Right.
but anytime it's been time to rise to the top, Dale Jr. and that team seems to find a way.
Yeah, if he doesn't, a huge disappointment, but I think he'll make it happen.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch again. Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when you can catch the Coke Zero 400. All right, we got to take a break here on MRN Crew Call. When we come back, we'll talk to one of our own, Jason Toy. He joins us next here on the program.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
If you or your family love the freedom of swimming any time of year, if you love sharing good times and making great memories, or if you want one of the best total body workouts ever, then it's time to discover the 3 C's of your very own endless pool. The first C is convenience. Imagine swimming year-round in your own private swimming pool, installed indoors or out, just steps away. The second C is comfort. With sculpted spa seats and your own adjustable temperature, you can easily escape the stress of your day. And the third C is cost. Your endless pool is an affordable luxury at a fraction of the cost of a regular pool. And here's a bonus C, choice. Because when you call for your free Endless Pool Idea Kit, you'll receive information on our full line of pools to suit your budget and location.
Call now for free information. 800-283-8089. 800-283-8089.
You've reached MRN Crew Call. This show may be monitored for quality assurance. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. This show may be monitored for quality assurance and training. I can't do it. I just can't. Here's Tony and Kid.
Welcome back to the program, and it's time to head to West by God, Virginia, and to one of my old stomping grounds, one of my buddies. We've cut our teeth through the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, the Cup Series. He and I have been there on pit road doing it all. It's MRN pit reporter Jason Toy on the phone. Jason, how you doing today?
How are you, boys?
You got any hillbilly hot dogs for us?
You know, it's funny you say that. In my office right now, just about not even 10 minutes ago, they just made a delivery for everybody else here of hot dogs.
So good.
I've been on a diet, so I can't really do that.
Oh, come on.
That place is awesome, by the way. You eating a school bus. Quit giggling. Hey, Jason, one of the things
Steve needs to come check it out. Steve really needs to come and
He
experience
would love that place.
No, I would love it. I was just laughing at the diet part.
Oh, thanks.
I'm sorry. No, I wish you the best of luck, Jason. I really do.
Hey, we love to ask everybody how they got their start and when they got their start with MRN. When did you get the call to be part of the Motor Racing Network?
I got an audition back in 1998. I was kind of persistence, I guess, and working my way in. And John McMullen back initially, I first met with him before Mr. Hyatt took over the network.
Ooh,
met with him at Bristol, and
Hyatt.
He set me down in the truck there at Bristol and told me, he said, all right, you need to go find you a racetrack somewhere and sit in the grandstands and make a call. So that's what I did. Came here. We have a legendary track here next to my town here called Iona Speedway. And they gave me an opportunity to go out there, call some races. And, of course, I've been doing football and basketball and stuff like that before that. And did that, put a tape together, sent it in, and David Hyatt took over as the head of Motor Racing Network and gave me an opportunity to audition at Martinsville back in the spring of 1998, and got lucky that weekend because it poured rain all weekend long, and they wanted me to audition on the modified race. And it's before modifieds and the internet and everything were really starting to be able to see it more. So me seeing the modifieds was me growing up at a track in Florida watching them run the dirt. So I had to study these guys, and then when we got there, the race got rained out. The lucky part of it actually happened to be Cup happy hour. It was the only practice they had before the race that day. Matter of fact, the race got rained out that weekend. And so I had a chance to audition on that, and about a month or so later, I got the call to go work Bristol for the Load Handler 200 at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I remember that, 1998, and also
I remember it well.
And that was it. And I think you were on pit road.
I was, yeah. We worked together.
Wow.
That was the first race we worked together. Remember it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest and there's history.
Before that, you were a big-time football star, huh? You won a national championship at Marshall. So what position did you play? Who were some of the star players from that year?
Left bench is what I
Left
played.
bench.
Yeah. I was guarding the Gatorade bucket.
You were a tight end. Come on.
Yeah, I was a tight end. I was a walk-on. I had a chance to play for a handful of years here at Marshall, and I was thankful for them to give me the opportunity to kind of live out a dream a little bit. And I had a ball with it. We won a national championship in 1992, and the way that playoff, the true playoff system of 16 teams, and you work your way down. That's the way I love the playoff system that way. That's a story for another show. But anyway, it was the opportunity to do that. We had some great players on our team. One of which was Troy Brown, who had a long story career with New England Patriots. Troy was my teammate. Matter of fact, Troy's still in town here. We bump into each other all the time, and we had some great talent that started to come back with that program. And of course, eventually, the years growing with it, I started to work radio and television with Marshall, and we had Randy Moss and Chad Pennington and a bunch of other guys that went on to the NFL too.
So at one point, Marshall was in the same conference as Tony Rizzuti's UCF Knights over here from Central Florida.
That's
so
right
tell
there.
me the story. I understand you took him to a game. He didn't embarrass you. This was back in the day? How did that go?
I think it embarrassed my daughter, I think.
Maybe a little bit.
It poured rain. Tony came in and actually stayed with me at the house, and we had a reunion weekend for our championship team, and I had to go down on the field, and so I took my son with me, and my daughter set up in the stands with Tony, and in the rain, and UCF just hammered us, kicked our butts, and Tony was loving it, though. Tony was loving it. But one thing I do have to say, me growing up, the biggest thrill I had, because I live here in West Virginia, but I grew up just outside of Tampa, Florida, was being able to listen to the kid Cruz on the radio in Orlando.
Look at that.
That was, yeah.
Come on, man. Did you ever call and make a request? Did you vote for the Hot 9 at 9 or anything?
No,
did you win Color Me Bad tickets at Summer Nights at Pleasure Island?
But, I would hear that. I would hear him talk about that because I remember when I would go home from college for the summers, and I would crank up the radio and everything else in the evening, and there he was.
Hey, let's talk some racing real quick because time's getting away from us. We just had Greg Ives on, crew chief for Dale Jr. What's your thought? Is this a must-win race for Dale Jr., and do you see him making the playoffs?
I think it's the best opportunity is going to be this weekend, the track that he knows well. Obviously, he has good genes when it comes to running with the restrictor plates and being able to work with the draft. So this is the best opportunity I think he has out of anything. Honestly, I thought last weekend when they were at Sonoma, through the practices and the qualifying and everything, how well he was running, I was thinking, this could be the race that Dale pulls it out because he does pretty decent at Sonoma. So he just has not had the luck this year. That's been the biggest problem. And what I've seen with him, and hopefully I think this weekend could be the weekend that they get things turned around, but they definitely, time's against him. If he wants to make the playoffs, it's going to be an opportunity like this weekend at Daytona to be able to do it.
Yeah, they need to at least score a top 5 here and get some big points. All right, Jason, we got this game show, 5 on 5 off. You don't have to get the questions right. You just have to get closer to the number than Kid Cruz. We're going to put you on hold. When we come back, it's Jason versus Kid. He's a pit reporter. That's your trouble zone.
Yeah, I generally lose to pit reporters, but I'm feeling good about this one. I'm feeling confident today.
All right, let's get it on when we get back here on MRN Crew Call.
O'Reilly
If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for the Summer Brake Deals event. Take advantage of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Do It Right rebate and get a $25 O'Reilly gift card by mail when you buy a set of Brake Best Select pads and a pair of rotors. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's summertime, and that means three things: good times, great racing, and killer barbecue. Creekstone Farms produces the finest, juiciest, and most grill-worthy, all-natural Duroc pork in the country. So rev up your grill and try their mouth-watering pork at your next tailgate. Speed over to creekstonefarms.com now and use promo code MRNPORK to save 15% on all succulent Creekstone Farms all-natural Duroc pork products. That's promo code MRNPORK at creekstonefarms.com.
In order to maximize a vehicle's performance and efficiency, the proper adjustments need to be made based on the road ahead. That's true for both race car drivers on the track and for truck drivers hauling freight on the highway. But if your truck's equipped with the Detroit DT12 automated manual transmission with intelligent powertrain management, adjustments are made automatically based on GPS terrain mapping, maximizing performance and efficiency. Don't just want better business solutions, demand them. Learn more at demanddetroit.com.
Time now for Motor Racing Network's #1 game show. The game where MRN talent prove their mettle against the unshakable Kid Cruz to see if they've truly earned the right to sit atop the pit box or if they're simply a tool. It's 5 on, 5 off on MRN Crew Call.
All right, Tony Rizzuti and Kid Cruz with you, getting ready to do our game show, but June is expiring quickly. Saturday's July 1st. That means this is the last week for Creekstone Farms' big promotion on pork. There it is right there. You want to save 15% on Creekstone Farms' succulent all-natural Duroc pork. We'll speed over to creekstonefarms.com now. Use the exclusive promo code. You see it right there, MRN Pork. Visit creekstonefarms.com today and rev up your grill. Get that 15% off. It's so delicious. We've got a great summer promotion coming up with those folks that'll get your grills burning, getting them ready to go. You're really going to enjoy that, but jump on that pork while you still can. All right, we got to play the game. Kid Cruz is up first.
Let's do it.
Beach is the category. Robbie Mays put 45 seconds. There it is, right on the clock, right on time. And Kid Cruz, your time starts right now. What is the population of Daytona Beach?
150,000.
Daytona Beach is how many miles northeast of your hometown of Orlando?
How many miles northeast?
How many miles northeast?
51.
What year was Daytona Beach incorporated?
1912.
How many miles made up one lap on the old beach course?
4.5.
And what was the pole winning speed for the inaugural Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway when they moved to the big track?
130.
130, there we go. 4 seconds to spare.
I don't know. I don't feel good about it.
You know what? Here's the thing, kid. When I put the question on how many miles north of Orlando, I felt like he's probably going to know that. And darned if you didn't. But let's see if Jason, see how close he gets, because you nailed it. So, all right, Jason, he got one for right, dead on for sure. But let's see how you do. The category is beach. Things associated with Daytona Beach. We're going to put 45 seconds on the clock. Again, just get as close as you can, and your time starts right now. What is the population of Daytona Beach?
45,000.
Daytona Beach is how many miles northeast of Orlando?
92.
What year was Daytona Beach incorporated?
1953.
How many miles made up one lap of the old beach course?
Oh, crap. 4 miles.
And finally, what was the pole-winning speed for the inaugural Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway? First race at the big track.
123 miles per hour.
There we go.
Ooh, we got
look
a close
at him, confident.
We got a
10
close
seconds
one here.
to spare. All right, let's bring in producer Daryl Smith. Daryl, category Beach, things dealing with Daytona Beach. The first question was, what is the population of Daytona Beach? Kid Cruz said
150,000.
And Jason Toy said
45,000.
The correct answer
61,000.
61,000. Jason Toy takes the lead 1-0.
Ouch.
But things are going to even up here. Daytona Beach is how many miles northeast of Orlando? I felt bad about putting this in because I felt he might know because he probably did some remotes there or did some back and forth.
yeah.
But anyway,
Spring break, baby.
Kid Cruz said
51.
Jason said
92.
The correct answer
51.
51
I
miles.
should get
How'd you
double
know
points.
that?
Dude, how many times have I made that trek
Yeah, but you
up and down
you
I-4?
guessed. You knew it was probably in the 50s, right?
No,
I made that trek a lot from Tampa, going to the Firecracker 400.
And that one's probably 90-something miles. See, so
Yeah,
you guys were probably both
Well,
right.
I would go from like a little north, like Altamont Springs, Winter Park, and it was about like 46 or so miles. So I just tacked on a few extra, and boom, there you go.
Dude, we got a 1-1 game. Question 3, what year was Daytona Beach incorporated? Kid said
1912.
And Jason said
1953.
The correct answer
1876.
1876. The Spanish all hit that coast. You knew it was going to be early.
Yeah, I should have gone a little earlier, but hey, I beat Toy, so that's
Says
fine.
the guy with the answers in front of him.
Right. Easy
All right.
for you.
Kids got a 2-1 lead, but how many miles in question 4 made up one lap of the old course? It was originally only like 2.5 miles. Then they extended it in the 40s, but that's the mileage that most people take.
Okay.
So Kid said
4.5.
And Jason said
4.0.
The correct answer
4.2.
4.2.
Oh,
Jason Toy gets the point.
Man.
We have a
Tied up.
2-2 game going into the final question.
Way outside, bang.
Who's feeling pressure now? What's the pucker factor now?
No, I think
My wife hates that
I
term,
think I
by the
got
way.
this because he went low. I went a little bit higher, and I think the right answer is a bit higher than my guess in this.
All right,
one,
let's
so.
find out. Question number 5. What was the pole winning speed for the inaugural Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway? I believe it was 1959 was the first year.
Oh, then I'm probably
Lee Petty
wrong.
got the win in a photo finish, but what was the pole winning speed? Kids said
130.
And Jason said
123.
The correct answer was
143.
Oh, yeah, baby, I was right. Yeah.
Backstreak's back, but Jason, you put up a fight. Joe Moore got smoked the last time we did it. You were in the game until the end. A lot of fun. Hey, before we let you go real quick, we heard you on the radio from Iowa Speedway with the doubleheader, and I saw you in Victory Lane with William Bryan. That's his name?
Byron.
Byron.
Come on, man.
What do you think of this kid? What kind of career do you think? Is there a Cup guy, past or present, that you think his career might look like?
Oh, man. Past or present, I think, I'm going to say Terry Labonte.
There you go.
In the aspect, because Terry Labonte was methodical in the way he made his way through the field.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry, he would take chances when he needed to, or he would lay back. He was the best in patience. And with William Byron, he is so patient. He waits for the opportunity. He doesn't put the car or the truck. He had great success in the trucks in positions that were going to hurt him or the truck or the team. He made smart decisions. I see a lot of like Terry Labonte in him.
I like that, and he's going to be a Hendricks driver. Hendrick driver.
That's okay. You're hungry. You need some lunch. We got to wrap
He
this
reminds
up.
me a little bit of Carl Edwards, a little bit.
Yeah, I like.
Could see that kind of career going on.
We need more backflips.
We do need more backflips. Jason, do one next time we see you in Victory Lane. How about that?
Yeah, I'll be slimmed down by then.
There he is. All right, thanks for joining us. Hey, good job today on the game. Good battle there.
Hey, anytime. I had a blast with it, guys.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
send us some hot dogs. Jason Toy on the old phone. Man, that was close.
Yeah, that was a nail biter, but I felt pretty confident going into that.
A lot of fun. Hey, thanks
Last
to Greg
question.
Ives for being on the program. Thanks to Jason Toy. Don't forget, Saturday, 6:30 Eastern, you'll hear the Coke 0400 and join us for practice tomorrow, 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. For Kid Cruz, I'm Tony Rizzuti. We'll see you next time on MRN Crew Call.
You've been listening to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Wednesday at noon on MRN.com or on the MRN app. MRN Crew Call is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or download it through iTunes or Google Play. MRN Crew Call is a production of the Motor Racing Network. Goodbye.